Okay. Today, lesson 13, introduction of Kriya. Kriya is described in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika chapter 2, and it starts Sutra 21. Now, to give you some perspective, I will explain what is happening here before we actually discuss Kriya. Chapter 1, which we haven't read yet, is the foundation of your yoga practice. We will read chapter 1 when we're done with Kriya. But chapter 1 we have put into practice already with our practice of the asanas and yama niyama. So we are now, chapter 1 is finished with laying the foundation for our practice. Then chapter 2 starts with pranayama, the introduction of Nadi Shodhana pranayama. When that introduction has been done, Sutra 21 comes along that says, one who is flabby and phlegmatic should first, before the practice of pranayama, practice the 6 acts. Others who do not have these defects should not practice them. The 3 humors, wind, bile, and phlegm, being equally balanced in them. So, very complicated, like all other sutras, do not give you very clear practical information. What we are reading here is that when you are still in a tamas condition, when your body is flabby and phlegmatic, that's tamas condition. Your preparations have not been sufficient yet, and therefore your condition to start practicing pranayama is not good yet. Your condition is flabby and phlegmatic. Before the practice of pranayama, you should practice the 6 acts, the Kriya exercises that follow. But the sutra clearly says, if you are in a good condition already because you have practiced diligently, laying the foundation, others who do not have these defects should not practice them. The 3 humors, wind, bile, and phlegm, being equally balanced in you. That is a condition where you are energetic, you are full of vital energy, and that energy is relatively sattvic already. You have done the groundwork with your asana practice. Now, whether you are in a good condition or not for pranayama, this is a teacher training course. Whether you are becoming a teacher ever or not is not relevant. It's very systematic. We all need to know how this works, and it is actually very interesting. Sutra 22. These 6 acts, kriyas, are named Dhauti, Vashti, Neti, Trataka, Nauli, and Kapalabhati. And actually there is a 7th Kriya exercise called Kajakarani, which we will come to in 2 weeks. Now pay attention. Sutra 23. Something very tricky, but also very interesting is happening. Sutra 23. These 6 acts that purify the body should be kept secret, as they produce various wonderful results, and as such are held in high esteem by great yogins. So you have here a book that describes the wonderful science of life with practical exercises that can considerably improve the quality of life. And then the author says this should be kept secret. Why does he do that? The most important reason for that is that You can learn asana from a book or from a not so qualified teacher, but you cannot learn the more refined techniques from an unqualified person or a book, for that matter. It is important to learn yoga properly and in a systematic way, that you are properly initiated by somebody who in the past has been initiated themselves. So let's go to the next sutra then. Sutra 24. Here Dhauti is described. Slowly swallow a wet piece of cloth, 4 fingers broad and 15 spans long, according to the instructions of the Guru. Draw it out again. This process is called Dhauti. So this morning when I left home, I put rolls of cloth in my bag and I'm going to hand them out. You're going to swallow. Listen, Sutra 24 or 23 said this should be kept secret. So if the author says this should be kept secret, isn't it strange that in 24 he's actually just telling you what to do? Does that make sense? It was supposed to be a secret. This is a booby trap. This is a booby trap that if you are not learning this under proper guidance, he says it in the 3rd sentence, according to the instructions of the Guru. And the Guru, that Guru will tell you, this is a booby trap. This is symbolical description of how you start controlling energy. So throw away all those pieces of cloth because you're not going to swallow a piece of cloth. This is not about swallowing a piece of cloth. This is about using imagination to start becoming aware of the flow of energy. And by the time we reach lesson 19, where Nadishodhana Pranayama will be introduced, it's very easy to start doing your pranayama. How does this work? We have 6 chakras. There's one more. Swallow a piece of cloth. You remember Shiva flowing down, Shakti flowing up. Okay. Visualize that you swallow a piece of cloth. Let it soak in the stomach and pull it out again. People who swallow a piece of cloth, try to imagine swallowing a piece of cloth and pulling it out again. Will you ever repeat that exercise? Probably not. There may be some who are really fanatic and believe in their teacher. They may repeat it, but the teacher himself will not do it. The teacher will say, I'm a master, I don't have to do this anymore, I'm purified enough. But you are a beginner, you must swallow that piece of cloth. I'd say run as fast as you can, because that's really not what Dhauti is about. You start here with the concept of moving Shiva and Shakti energy. And it is based on the power of Ajna Chakra. Imagination, visualization. In the beginning that is very difficult, so you can indeed use the picture of swallowing, literally swallowing a piece of cloth. But when you repeat this exercise a couple of times, it becomes a feeling, not a visualization, a feeling. And it is that feeling that is important. But you get to the feeling through the visualization. Because this is a concept that is very strange to most people. How can you control energy? I don't feel energy. Do I feel energy? We will come to that. Energy is everywhere. You feel it every moment. You just don't realize it. But we will come to that. I will emphasize those moments where you feel energy. With the next chakra, for example. You visualize the piece of cloth going through the mouth, through the esophagus, passing the throat, passing the heart, and ending up not in the stomach, but in Manipura chakra. Then you visualize the piece of cloth coming out again from Manipura chakra, through the heart, through the throat, and out through Ajna chakra. What you do here is not only becoming familiar with the ability to control energy, but the fact that your concentration is there with the energy in this particular part of the body already leads to a vitalization of this part of the body. So you see in Sutra 25, this happens always with a new exercise. They always describe what possible effects come out of the exercise. Sutra 25, by the efficacy of Dhauti, bronchial diseases, asthma, Kriya, leprosy and similar skin diseases, and 20 other diseases brought on by phlegm disappear. There is no doubt about this. The diseases described here are all of the throat, the lungs, skin, etc. Which, you remember, diseases are always energy related one way or another. You vitalize the energy, diseases gradually disappear or heal. So this is the first of the Kriyas. You may be a little bit skeptical, totally understandable, because you do not see the whole picture yet. But the next class, you learn the second one, and you already start to see the logic in this system of the Kriyas. So for now, give it the benefit of the doubt. We are simply going to add this. We start with the Kriya exercise. You play with the concept for as long as you feel like. As long as you have this interest in exploring Dhauti, playing with that concept of energy going down and going up again, you try to experiment with that. The moment that you feel losing interest, you switch to your concentration on nada, what we have done so far in the previous classes. So how long do you do Dhauti? As long as you're interested. That can be 3 minutes. It can be the whole full 20 minutes. As long as you feel interest. Because the moment you lose interest, there is no energy anymore. It doesn't work. As long as you're interested, intrigued, enthusiastic, the energy is there. So, Dhauti and nada. And because we add an exercise, the time increases to 20 minutes. Okay, questions? Okay, let's give it a try.